guys, it's India. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a DIY. Of course, we are going to be doing some Bohemian Knotless braids for the very first time. So this is the hair that I used for the curly pieces. This is the Milky Way Deep Bulk 22 inches. It is a human hair master mix. And then I also use the Sensationnel Ruwa pre-stretched braiding hair. So you get 3 little bundles in the pack, and I purchased 3 packs of this hair. You're also going to need some nail glue. Go ahead and get 2 bottles of that. You'll need your favorite edge control, some jam, and then I also highly recommend that you pick up this mirror from Amazon. I went ahead and linked it in my storefront, which is in the description box down below. Check it out, you guys. This mirror is a lifesaver. You get 3 parts in it, so it's really easy for you to part the back of your hair and see exactly what you are doing. Today we are starting off on freshly washed, deep conditioned, blow dried hair, and I am parting my hair. So I am basically going from ear to ear, maybe like a little slightly lower, and this is actually going to be 2 rows at the bottom. Now you're gonna wanna use a lot of jam for this style because you wanna make sure that everything is nice and slick and that you slick down all sides. So when you're parting, put the jam on the bottom part, put it on the top part, put it on the sides, put it underneath. Make sure that you get all of it and that you brush it in and everything is nice and slick. Go ahead and take this bottom section and part it in half, and this is going to give you your 2 rows. I decided to pre-part all of my hair first, so that's why you see me now moving to the front and slicking the front down with jam, brushing it and everything. So this is the final parting look. For this parting space, you want to do a middle part, and then you're going to have 6 rows on each side. So instead of parting your hair from ear to ear going across the crown of your head, you're not going to do that. This parting space is going to lay a lot better. So you can see I have 6 rows there. I have 6 rows on the back. Now you see I have 1 part going all the way down the middle. So you can see how I have 6 parts on that side, 6 on the other, and then I have those 2 rows at the bottom from when I parted my hair from ear to ear going across. But this is how it's looking. I went ahead and started the braids, and then I decided to jump in with the tutorial after so you guys could see exactly what's going on. So this is me just making sure that my part is super straight. Don't forget to comb it out with a wide tooth comb, and then comb each individual section with your rat tail comb once you actually get ready to braid. So now we are ready for this first little tutorial. So you guys can see I'm putting jam on all sides. I'm using my comb just to smooth down everything, comb through the section, make sure everything is good. And now we're actually going to get started with showing you guys how to do this braid in the back section of your hair. So the first thing that you want to do is go ahead and divide this one section into 3 because we're going to start off with a regular braid. You're going to need to count, okay? So after you've split the section in 3, you want to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to add your first piece of braiding hair. So you take very small pieces of braiding hair, you put the first piece in, you're going to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add in your next piece of braiding hair. Basically what you're doing is you're adding in the braiding hair when the part with no hair is in the middle. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have the part on the left side and the part in the middle each only have 1 piece. So now you're going to do the same thing, add in your third piece. Once again, count 1, 2, 3, 4. And now each section has 2 little pieces of braiding hair. So now everything is even. So now you can go ahead and add in your first piece of curly hair. The curly hair is kind of like off-centered. It has like a little bit of a straight part, and then obviously the rest is curly. You're going to do the same thing, literally count. That was 2, this is 3, this is 4. And then once you feel like you've braided it in enough, you want to count at least to 4. You can braid it in a little bit more if you don't want the curly piece to be so high up in the braid. And then you're just going to find the curly piece in the braid and then just go ahead and take it. Now you can clip it If you want, I kind of just hold mine in my lips and, keep it moving. But, obviously if you're doing someone else's hair, you're going to want to clip it up, but you can also clip it up, if you're doing your own hair as well. And then you just continue to braid down. I ended up adding in about 3 curly pieces to each braid. You use this same technique on all the braids, going all the way down. No particular spacing order, just kind of when I felt like, okay, let me go ahead and add another piece, I went ahead and added another piece. Always make sure that you continue to jam your hair going all the way down. And you guys can see, once again, I'm adding in another curly piece right here. You want to make sure when you put in the curly piece that you actually braid it down a good little bit so that the piece can be secured. And then you'll take the curly piece out and then continue to braid all the way down. I ended up adding, like I said, about 3 pieces of curly hair to each braid. And I ended up adding about three pieces, maybe 4 pieces of braiding hair, of straight braiding hair to each braid. That is going to depend on how thick you want your braids and how thick your hair is. You guys can see when we started this video, I have very thick natural hair. So adding in 3 little tiny pieces of braiding hair was enough for me to get the look that I wanted. If you have hair that's on the finer side and you want your braids to be a little thicker, you're going to need to add in more hair. Also keep in mind, the more hair you add, the heavier it's going to be. Now right here, I am tying a knot. I've gotten to the bottom at this point. So you just basically want to loop the little braiding hair around itself and pull it through. Once you've done this, you're going to need to secure it with nail glue. So I told you guys in the beginning of the video, get 2 bottles of nail glue. I only bought 1. I ended up running out. Thankfully, I wear press-ons, so I had extra nail glue lying around. But just go ahead and make sure you get 2 of these little bottles so that you have enough. You're just going to take the nail glue, put it on the little knotted area that you have. Use your scissors to cut off any of like the flyaway pieces. And then when you get to this knot part at the bottom, you want to just cut off that braiding hair. So you're just left with the curly piece at the bottom. Take a little more jam just to smooth that out, and then you are completely done with that braid. Okay, so now we are ready to move into the front of my hair. So this braid right here, we're gonna go ahead and work on this one. So of course, we're gonna start off by adding a little bit of jam to the section. We're gonna comb it, make sure everything is nice and straight, and then we're going to start braiding. So once again, divide the section into 3. Start off with a regular braid. So literally count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go ahead and add in your first piece of braiding hair. I decided to pull my braiding hair. I have one of those little like braiding rack things that I see people using. You can get them from Amazon, linked in my storefront. I pulled as much hair as I could fit on the rack. So I have 2 racks. I did 1 for braiding hair and 1 for curly hair. And doing that is really gonna allow you to move a little bit faster versus having to pull a piece of braiding hair every single time you need one. So go ahead and insert the braiding hair in. Like I said, I added about 3 pieces into each braid and then about 3 pieces of curly hair as well. You want to make sure you pull nice thin pieces of braiding hair. It's going to make it look more seamless when you add it in. This is my first piece of curly hair that I'm adding in. And once again, you're going to count to at least 4 when you add in the curly hair. Sometimes I went in a little bit, I braided it in a little bit more just to make sure that it was really nice and secure. Now, what I will say is that this top section of my hair, I started adding in the curly pieces kind of high at the top, and I ended up not liking how they were sitting, and I ended up cutting out the first piece of curly hair. So like that piece that I'm holding in my mouth right now, I ended up cutting that piece out later on because I didn't like the way that it was sitting. So I personally would recommend that you add in, you can still do 3 pieces, but add it in further down the braid because it'll sit nicer. And then if you're getting to the like middle end of the braid and you feel like it's getting super thin because your hair is getting thinner on the ends, go ahead and add in another piece of braiding hair. This is when like the 4th piece of braiding hair would come in. And then once again, once we get to the bottom, you add in the curly piece the same way at the bottom. So like I'm adding in the curly piece right now, and I'm just gonna continue to braid it, braid it, braid it all the way. Just keep braiding it, right? This piece, you don't need to hold it in your mouth. You're just gonna keep braiding it until you feel like it's secure, and then you're gonna tie your knot, and that's gonna be it. You're gonna tie your knot, you're gonna put your nail glue, and then you're gonna cut off the straight braiding hair. I just kind of let the nail glue dry while I went ahead and cut off any pieces that were poking out of my braid. And by the time I cut off those pieces, I went ahead and cut off the straight braiding hair at the bottom, and then that was it. And it was good, held in place. It's actually weeks later, you guys, and my hair still looks really good. I'll do an update for y'all soon. But this is the final look. The braids are really long. They're definitely butt length. You don't have to make them this long, of course, totally up to you. You would just add in the curly piece higher up in the braid, or you could cut some of the curly piece at the bottom if you want. Now, right here, you guys can see I'm using this Lotta Body mousse. I'm only showing you guys this because this is what I did, but I do not recommend that you do this. I would recommend that you do like a water conditioner mix or like a water and a curl cream. I don't like mousse. If you guys have watched my previous videos, y'all know I always say how I don't like mousse, but this is what I saw everybody using. And because this was my first time doing this style, I just went ahead and just followed along, but I definitely would not be using mousse again. Since then, I've used water and conditioner, and I feel like it looks a lot better. Now here, I'm just spraying the top of my hair with this hairspray. I am going to link in the description box down below a few videos that I watched when preparing for this style. I would highly recommend, if this is your first time doing this style, that you watch these other hair tutorials, because I took something from each of them to create my style, whether it was the hair I used, the parting space, how to actually do the knotless braids. Like, definitely watch these other hair tutorials, because I felt like they were really informative and really helpful for me to create this style, because like I said, this is my very first time doing Bohemian knotless braids. I have done knotless braids one time before, 4 years ago. The video is actually on my channel. It's super old. But yeah, I have not done any type of knotless braid style since then. So this is literally my first time doing Bohemian knotless braids. They came out absolutely amazingly. They are not super heavy. They feel really good. Like, I haven't had any headaches or anything like that. I feel like they look really good. I feel like I did a really nice job. Love how they came out. Love the hair that I used. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think of this hairstyle in the comment section down below, girl. What do you think? Would you try this style out? Is it giving? Because I mean, I think it's giving. Be sure you hit that subscribe button down below, turn your post notifications on, give the video a thumbs up, girl. Join the fam over here for all the new hair tutorials to come, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.